Speaking of the NFL, Nike sparking a firestorm after tapping anthem kneeler Colin Kaepernick as the new face of their ad campaign. So was this a bad business decision? Joining me now is branding expert Kris Ruby. Thanks so much for coming on this morning. There's a lot of speculation on this. Some people say they're going to make more money doing this. Some people say less. What do you think?
I think it's a very bad business decision, actually. I don't think they'll make more money, and I think in the long term it was short-sighted. I think what's interesting is that in a post-2016 political environment, you have all of these brands that are taking very strong political stances right now. Right. And typically that's not something that ever happened before.
Right.
This is something, even for clients, I would say shy away from getting involved in these controversial political topics.
Yeah.
Now it's a new world.
I mean, I would think if I were running a huge company and I saw a country this divided politically, I think it would be smarter to stay above the fray, right? And just be like, we're not going to get into any of this. We're not going to talk about this. We're selling shoes. That's it.
Of course.
But then the NFL, and they start kneeling during the anthem, and it becomes a sports topic. It becomes a sports story.
Yeah.
Did that change it?
It did change it, and it's also widely problematic because people, sports is the one area where they didn't actually want politics.
Right.
They wanted entertainment.
Yeah, they could stay out of politics.
Exactly. And so now, Nike has put itself front and center in the middle of all of this, and I think a lot of people are unhappy with this.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Now Nike is exposed to a lot of anger from half the country, and so a lot of people are looking for reasons to hate Nike for this. And one thing that I see a lot of, there has been a lot of contempt for Nike for 20, 30 years regarding stories about the wages that they pay to workers in Southeast Asia, to child labor. Back in the 90s, they had big problems with child labor and basically almost enslaving kids doing their work in some ways because there wasn't any regulation on that. These are places in Vietnam where they make the shoes and the shirts that you see burning here on the screen. The idea that this company is supposedly so woke now, that they're so, conscious of, any injustices, you see the hypocrisy.
Yes, it's a hypocrisy at its finest, actually.
Yeah.
And so,
and paying a millionaire millions of dollars, while they've got, people overseas not even making a living wage.
Exactly. And also the tagline here really doesn't make sense considering the spokesperson that they're using for it. I'm still unclear, believe in something. What is that something that he believes in? The other half of it, for everything, what is the everything here? What has he actually done? Can we define that everything in the tagline? Yeah.
Well, I mean, he says in his quote is that, even if it means sacrificing everything, but a lot of people point out the guy was riding the bench when he started kneeling. And a lot of people think he just needed some attention. He was, kind of bitter. Maybe he wasn't starting. He had been a great quarterback for a couple years, and then he was riding the bench.
But
now he does this.
Who sacrifices everything? Members of our military.
Right.
People who believe in this country. And so that is what's concerning to me. Why didn't Nike choose someone who is in the Air Force, who's actually fighting for our rights to even be able to do something like this campaign?
Why do you think they didn't?
Because I think they've clearly chosen who their target audience is, and they are totally okay with going for millennial liberals and not conservatives.
Because this sells more shoes than
and ultimately,
some guy that's fighting overseas and lost a leg.
Yes, and ultimately they care about their bottom line and profits.
Yeah, they're making money. All right. Kris, thank you so much. That's good perspective this morning. All right.